Okay, welcome to Monday Meetup. It feels like we're not even back from convention. It's been a whirlwind. So I know some people just got back last night and are probably really tired, but also really excited and enthusiastic about what they learned. And some of you were not able to go to convention. Some of you may have joined virtually. But I am excited to open it up to start with. I have some important announcements I'd like to go over from convention at some point, but I really was asking those who did attend, whether it was virtually or in person, but especially some of you who went in person, I would just love to hear your main takeaway, any aha moment that you might have, anything that really stood out to you. Maybe if you've been to conventions past, something that was different or new or that they did really well, or if this was your first convention, we definitely want to hear how you perceived everything, what really stood out to you, what it was like for you. That's always so fun to hear. So I'm going to open it up right away and just start with that. I did ask some specifically if you were at the Essential Oil Symposium. I was not able to be there. I had bought a ticket, but my flight did not come in time. Well, I had purchased the ticket before I actually got my plane ticket and didn't realize I wouldn't be able to make it. So I was bummed about that, but I know there was some really great content. I was I was looking over the agenda and I was like, man, I really missed out on some great stuff. So if anyone was at the Essential Oil Symposium, let's start there. That was the day before convention actually started. And then we'll kind of move through and just share. And just for a minute or two each would really be great because there are some, like I said, announcements I want to get to, and I'd love for everybody who wants to share to be able to do that. So let's see what you have to say. Who wants to start us off?
Well, I didn't go to the Essential
Go ahead.
Oil Symposium, but I will say that I did not meet Dr. Hill this year. So
you can raise your hand or you can just jump on in. I don't. I saw Jacqueline.
Go ahead, Valerie. Go, Valerie.
Raise your hand.
I'm just laughing at Joanna's
Are
joke.
You muted? Doesn't look like it.
Sorry, I should mute.
Okay, Valerie. Oh, you just muted yourself.
Dr. Hill. Joanna, did you hear Joanna and her thoughts about Dr. Hill this time?
No, it's okay, Valerie. It got messed up. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it did. I'm sorry. I don't know did I have my volume down really low and people were talking? I don't know what happened there. So
I think you did this solely because Joanna was talking. And I don't think
sorry, Joanna. Go ahead. Everybody else.
No. I was just going to lead with, I didn't get to meet Dr. Hill, although I did meet Dr. O and Becca, but it was so great to meet new friends like Jackie and seeing Valerie and all the crew in person. But that VMG Plus, what the heck? It was awesome. That's all I'll say.
Okay, well, that's definitely a favorite new product. Sorry about that. I forgot I turned my volume down earlier. I was actually just trying to turn my notifications off and I turned my volume all the way down instead. So I'm going to turn my notifications off right now so you don't get annoying dings there. All right, so thanks for sharing. And who's next?
I'm Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, there you go.
I went to the oil symposium.
Okay, yes, you did. I heard that.
Oh, it was fabulous. There was so much information. It was stunning to get it. But one of the things that came through was the oils work. And we can say the oils work. And to be able to use them in more than one way, stacking on top of each other and the different ways that it just, makes explode the efficacy of an oil and stuff like that was just, it was mind-blowing, exhausting, coming back and going, I think I'm brain dead. But it was good. It was so good.
Oh man, I would love to hear specifics at some point. Maybe some who went can collaborate and share some of those amazing protocols and things with us because we all need to learn.
Yes, it was great.
Hey, Crystal, how's it going?
Good. Hey, Susie.
I'm
first time convention goer. Woo!
I know. I even took my VGM Plus today.
Good job.
I loved it.
Very cool. So what else did you love about convention?
I love meeting like everybody that's gonna help me get on to my team.
Yeah. Meeting
So
everybody is,
Frankenstein,
is huge. The collaboration and people not just being faces on screens or names that you've heard, but forming friendships and community. That's one of my favorite parts about it. So I love that you got to do that because it puts a different kind of fire under you, doesn't it?
yeah, I told everybody at work about the new product. I was like, "Ooh, I cannot wait for we could buy it." I
Now, do
told
you
them
think that you would have done that if you hadn't gone in person, if you just watched it online? Do you think you'd have been as excited?
now, like it in person,
Yeah, it doesn't even compare, right?
because
Awesome.
I was using the frankincense stick on my face today. Everybody's like, I can see a glow on you."
I told my husband that he has to start using it, like we heard on the last day when I forget his name, the Blue Diamond, who talked about products for men and using it
Yes.
because men don't take care of their skin, right? So
Right.
I told him, use this all over your face. He's like, oh, I should use it on my neck and my back. I'm like, yes, but use it on your face too. This is your new skincare product. And he said he's like, okay, I'll do it. So he was game for that.
I'm actually gonna look on their thing to see who it was.
Um, there was also something I know. So I just finished going through the DMK. I've never seen doTERRA put out so much great information, literature, images
Yeah.
so quickly for us. They have listened. I really felt like I saw some
Oh,
areas
is it him?
were improved. Oh yeah, Tony McClellan.
Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was so good. We'll come back to that because I know some people would have said that was their absolute favorite presentation was that the Saturday morning. So we'll talk more about that. But yeah, and Christian Risenmay, he was awesome. So some of your favorites, that's great. But yeah, I just am so impressed at all of the material doTERRA's already given us, the quality of it. There's reels and videos, there's images. I'll show you some of the literature that I kind of stumbled on just scouring through the DMK to find things to share. And I have never seen them put out so much so quickly, such great quality information and literature and all of that for us. Also, they ended on time or early. And Daniel gave me some inside information that Kirk Jowers was behind that. So that's a good change because leadership was terrible. They were hours late and people got cut off from giving their presentations. It was the worst I've seen. They're usually notorious for ending late, but maybe half an hour late. And we were like an hour and a half late on some of those sessions and people were starving. And so this time they started that music when it was time for them to, it was a little awkward, right? I'm like, come on, you can tell they're wrapping up, give them 30 seconds or whatever, but it was effective. So I think it, taught everyone a lesson, which they needed. I appreciated
Crystal,
that. To be punctual.
Can I jump in and just piggyback on what you were saying? I was really impressed with what they're about to launch, the new stuff like the Wellness Advocate Product Starter Pack.
Yes.
And then there's the Launch Your Business email series.
Yeah, I'm going to come back to that because I actually want, if we have time, I would actually like to show that whole presentation that Shannon Bible did.
Oh,
Hey,
sorry, I accidentally muted you, Crystal, because we were having a lot of people unmute, and so I just hit mute all, and I didn't realize it was going to do that to you.
Oh.
Okay.
Anyway, I was just saying we'll come back to the Shannon Bible announcements at the end. I'd like to make sure you all know about those. So we'll come back to that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yep.
So I think you can still unmute yourself if you would like to. Lori's
I did try the BMG Plus, just like a few of us did. I was so impressed. My problem was I was never getting around to the greens because I thought it was too much. It was just too much for me to do, get up and do that again, So I just swallow my LLV, from the sachet, which I don't like capsules. I just don't like them. And so when they came out with this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I tried it this morning. I have a routine now. I have a routine that I like.
Yay.
So I'm excited. I'm really excited.
That's awesome. I'm excited about that too. I tried it today for the first time with my Power Punch. So with the recharge and the advantage. I really thought it was
Yes.
an improvement. I really liked that a lot. So I'm
Absolutely.
excited. I didn't like it with the greens. I had tried that before too, and I don't know if it's just too gritty, too grainy, too green. I don't know what it was, but the VMG tastes really great and it's smooth. It's not chalky or gritty. So I'm excited about that. That's just going right in my power punch because I can habit stack. It's much easier than adding another drink to my day, but I take a lot of the other doTERRA supplements. So I was one of those taking like 2 fistful of pills every
Right.
day, and I have to have food with that because that does not settle well by itself. And I just love the ingredients in the VMG. So really excited about that. Lori, I didn't think you were going to be able to be on. I know you were at the symposium, and we always love to
Yeah.
hear your scientific thoughts. So what do you want to share?
Well, I loved it, and I think it was great that they did it this way because there's so many people, and they even explained there's only 1% of the population that wants to know the stuff that they taught there
Mm,
and that can follow it and that doesn't glaze over. So it was really, really, it was informative, and they really dug into like limonene specifically, and just the different constituents, the how many things are adulterated, what is which oils are high in what, and if you would ever get a chance to talk to Alex DeBell, oh my gosh, the guy is brilliant, and he spoke in the symposium, but then I got to talk to him in the leadership area or whatever that was. I forget what we were talking about, because I was asking him about the VMG, and because I was concerned about them getting rid of the LLV, and he told us that that wasn't going to happen. But they really broke down some of the different oils, like how limonene affects cholesterol, and how it supports glucose metabolism and insulin sensitivity, and like all the nerdy stuff, right? Like I was like on cloud 9. I probably couldn't take notes quickly enough. But I think it was good because I think it's really hard. I like the way they had it set up this year because a lot of times they have us go eat and then we come back and they do like so much science that you just can't focus on it at all. And so I think this is nice. I think we really need to let our teams know that, hey, if this is the type of thing that you like, then this is where you need to be. And I hope they continue to do it this way so that they're not taking up so much time with science with only 1% of the population even wanting that information.
Mm.
So I did really like how they had it set up.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of good discussion already happening in the chat here too. The only thing they shared from the whole Essential Symposiums, I'm sure there was non-compliant stuff or just they didn't have time to compile. It was just the PET ebook. So the PET ebook is over there under the Essential Oil Symposium. That's it. I was kind of disappointed there wasn't anything else in there yet. So, or maybe there won't be. I don't know if it was non-compliant and that's why it wasn't going to be recorded and all of that. I'm not sure. Not being there.
Well, they did say that there's going to be a class coming soon too.
Okay.
I think for the vet type stuff. I'm just I'm looking through really quick to see if there was anything.
Yeah, if there was
specific.
anything really mind blowing that was or specific that you didn't know before, because I don't know you've got a wide knowledge base already, but I'd just be curious. So.
Well, one of the things they talked about was talking about water and how women need 3 liters of water per day, men need 4 liters, and it says 5 liters in less than 4 hours is too much fluid without electrolytes. And so I think that is one of the things that and I hope Heather's on here because I think you would love to hear what experience we had on the plane ride home. But it was, I think it's important, today I connected with someone with a guy who was talking about, oh, I drink a gallon of water a day. And I said, well, are you taking electrolytes with that? And they said, no. Well, that's that's a perfect opportunity because there's so many people that think, oh, I just need to drink a lot of fluid. And if you're not using those electrolytes, then you're not utilizing the fluid that you're taking in. So, so I think that was, that was good.
Yeah, that's good. Just a quick practical thing that probably a lot of people don't know that you can share easily without having to be a scientist or medical professional. Just to
Right.
know that doesn't get to the cells properly without the electrolytes to help push it to the
Right.
cellular level.
There's just so many things, like talking about topical absorption. We absorb 64% of what we put on the skin. It's 100% absorption in the axilla and in the groin area. So, you think about all the things that you're putting in those areas, and how toxic they can be. So I thought that was, they talked about permeation versus penetration. There's just so much stuff. And then just the fact that they're doing the studies, they really talked about, drilling it down. Do you need 1 or 2 drops? So they were kind of discussing that. Start talking about start low and go slow. That's what I always tell my people to do. Because I think if they see that you're being frugal with your oils, they're going to be more likely to try something else because they're not going to feel like you're just trying to get them to buy the same thing over and over again, And then they talked about the hospitals, St. Elizabeth's, Banner, Hoag. I think they said Banner Hospital is having recharge rooms in the hospital. So the employees can grab a video and oils and sit for 15 minutes. So I thought that was interesting. St. Elizabeth studied ginger. Hoag is helping postpartum women with oils.
That's great. Yeah.
So is there any chance anybody took notes that we can buy them or grab them for those of us who didn't make the symposium?
Sometimes people do that. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, they do
Dr. Eve,
mention. I don't know about the symposium. Has anyone seen that?
I can speak into the symposium. I talked to Dr. Eve Rosno, who normally does sell her notes after a convention. She is planning to put together some for the symposium. It will be a separate cost than what she would normally do for the convention.
Okay, thank you, Romana. That's helpful.
I'll drop that into groups whenever I know about them.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that. Very good. So that was amazing, mind-blowing stuff on that day. And what about the new products? What are you experiencing yourself, or what are you most excited to share with others? What do you think could be really impactful for either your own health or your business in terms of sharing and selling those to others?
Can I tell you my experience with frankincense? I don't usually use it, except I do take DDR Prime every day. So I was excited about the frankincense, but I'm like, what do I really need it for? But I haven't really been sleeping. I've been really stressed. So I said, well, my brother always took it for sleep. He said he would never be without his frankincense. So I used the stick. I just did it on my inner wrists and my inner elbows. And I put a little bit in the back of my, the bottom of my skull, my brain, my skull, and then a little of my heart. I woke up, I slept really good. And I did put Serenity in the diffuser.
Okay.
I woke up feeling like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'll really be able to wake up today. I felt really lethargic, very relaxed. So what did I do? I'm like, I can't go like this all day. I got things to do. So I did the recharge and the collagen and the BMG plus. Okay, 20 minutes later, it was like I was never thinking that. I was so lethargic. So I'm telling you, that stuff works. About 20 minutes later, I did not feel lethargic at all. And I was just like, I said, oh my gosh, honey, this stuff is really good stuff. Yeah. Because I had complained to him when I woke up that morning. I told him how I was feeling. I said, I don't know how I'm going to get through today because I'm really, really tired. Then I took the electrolyte, magnesium, collagen, and BMG. So there you go. That's for me. That's my experience.
Great. I'm reading comments. The frankincense stick really healed my chapped lips from the dry climate here in Utah. Yes, for sure. That's going to be good for so many things. All the frankincense things people are excited about. I also had a similar experience as AJ. I've been really tired, and it was a very busy convention. So I had a family wedding in Texas the weekend before. For 3 days I was out of town, had a flight delayed or actually canceled. So I had to take a different flight, drive 3 hours, got home at 3:30 in the morning. That was on Monday morning, left Wednesday early morning for convention. So I was home for not even 2 days, or just barely 2 days, went to convention for 4 days, came home at midnight on Saturday, and I'm leaving the day after tomorrow to go to Africa. So I'm home for 3 days between conventions. So convention is sandwiched in between two other trips, one of them a major trip for 2 weeks. And I have not been getting enough sleep, and I've been stressed and overwhelmed about it. And so I was really tired this morning and had to get up and go teach English classes at my kids' homeschool co-op. And I decided to take that before. So that was the first time I had actually opened my own VMG packs. I tried the samples at convention, and I combined it with Recharge and Advantage also. And I had been yawning, and I had not had coffee yet. And I was going into class, and I all of a sudden, probably within about 20 minutes, I was like, oh man, I feel really good. I feel really energized. I'm not yawning anymore. I'm not tired. And I have gone all day long, just from one thing to the next to the next. And I feel like I should be more run down. So I'm excited. I told Tanya, it seems like every year, the last few years, right at convention, which I usually go to Tanzania in October, but I'm going a little bit earlier this year for a special project. They released something wonderful that I need for travel. So Recharge was amazing for jet lag, for circulation, for all the things that I face traveling for 28 hours to get to Tanzania last year. They gave us the sample kits in the convention kit, right? We got to preview those, and I saved them for my trip. Before that, the year before that, it was the Serenity soft gels with the added tart cherry for melatonin production. And I slept so much better over there and was able to get past jet lag so quickly. And I just feel like at my age, I should be feeling worse than when I went to Tanzania when I was 18, 25, 30 years old. And I have bounced back really quickly. So I'm praying that will be the case this time. But I could tell that the vitamins, just because the absorption, right, in that liquid form, and all those amazing superfood ingredients and everything, I could feel the difference in it too. So I'm really excited to have those for my trip, but for long term also, I think I'm really going to like those. Okay. Oh, Lindsay said we had been texting earlier, and she said she was in this mood to just like clean and purge and do all these things. She's like, oh, I just realized VMG might be what put me in the mood to do that. Gave her that burst of energy, because like, who comes home from convention and the next day decides to purge and clean their house, right? Energy, yes. Awesome. Anybody else? I am in about 7 minutes, at about 8:30 my time, I'm going to transition into going through some of the most important announcements and things that I think we need to cover. But who else wants to share something? Go ahead, Heather.
Go ahead, Heather.
So I loved the whole experience. I went to the symposium with Lori, and we had very similar notes. Some really cool things that I noticed was right off the bat, I put that oils are biologically active, and they're selective, and they demonstrate specific cell targets. So they also talked about the International Standard Organization, and then that doTERRA is the only company that tests every batch of their oils. And then they talked about a lot, that the purity and the consistency is equal to the safety and the efficacy.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, the purity and the consistency that we have is how we get our safety and efficacy.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, such a good point to reiterate.
Yeah, they did a lot. And then I thought it was cool how they were like, science is never settled. So that was really cool.
And Laura's cheering, right? Right, because then it's not science, right? If we can't hypothesize and test it, then it's not.
Yeah, and for me at the team party, being able to hug Dr. Stevens was amazing. I
Oh,
was
that's
just thinking
awesome.
about all her talks. Yeah, it
What
was
a
great.
surprise. That was so exciting.
Yeah, it was.
We got the most corporate drop-ins of any party I've ever seen or heard of. And what happened was Tanya had put in the request for corporate visitors to come, which if they can, they'll send the big ones. Last year we had Russell Butters. And so, we never know for sure who we'll get. Sometimes they text in advance, sometimes they don't, we just never really know. And so I just thought, well, I'm going to reach out to my account manager and I want to invite her personally. And then I also reached out to our regional business advancement director because I just thought I would love to have her there too. So I reached out to a couple people and I told Tanya I had done that. So then she decided to reach out to her account manager. So we ended up, we didn't really know who all was coming, but they were traveling in little teams of groups of like the Pacific region executive team, all the account managers, and then the Southeast region. So we got those two groups. And then Dr. Nicole Stevens and Lauren Bush stopped out. It was so much fun. It was a great party.
It was. It really
It really
was.
helped make the party.
Yeah, it was amazing. You guys did so much and it was an incredible experience. I will probably remember forever. Because it was my first time. I've been with doTERRA for 10 years and Lori and she knows how much I put forth as far as like just I love and I'm passionate about it. And that's what I think is amazing that I'm not the only one.
Yeah, you're part of this
everybody
huge
is-
community, right?
Yes.
It's so fun to be surrounded by thousands of people who love the oils and products and believe in them as much as you. And yeah, it's very, very energizing in itself. So
Yeah. Another cool thing I thought was when they talked about the healthcare skeptics, especially doctors, that, they're locked in a box of the training that they've received. And there's ways you can go about it, to present it to them like, hey, this is the information I have. Would you just give me your thoughts? Because I value your opinion, things like that. And then I thought it was cool too that they talked about like the pharmacokinetics and the acronym absorption. So ADME, the absorption, and it was recognized by our body and bioavailable. And
Yeah.
then the distribution, metabolism, and excretion. So
Okay.
those are really cool.
Mhm.
And then they talked about the parts per billion. That was awesome. But we have the highest quality in the world, and they have this, studies to back it up now, and that's pretty incredible that
Mhm.
we exceed the standards for the international.
Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
yeah,
We're very proud and loud about that.
yeah.
And now that we have those studies, we've always known it, but we've been waiting for the proof to catch up, right?
Yes. And so I think the key takeaway is they wanted to simplify things and just make it to where we can be confident in sharing them and how
Mhm.
powerful they really are.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. I'm glad you finally made it to convention.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in before we switch gears a bit here?
I'll say something. I don't have my camera on
That's okay,
because you
Laura.
don't want to know what I look like. So yes, it was exciting to have two team members go to convention for their very first time, Heather and Luann, and it was just really great to see that. But I went to the oil education breakout sessions, and they were talking about the new Omega Plus, and Jared Auger said, well, I'm going to back up a little bit. We have a group text who was at convention, like on my team. And Lindsay texted this morning and said, okay, this omega-3 is like a horse pill. How are we ever going to even swallow this thing? And I said, well, Jared Auger says that you could actually chew them. And so they're like, yeah, he did. And so I'm like, well, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. So I recorded myself and I sent it. I am telling you, you can bite into them. You do not taste any fish. It tastes like a squirt of orange, and it's actually chewy because the outside of that actual gel cap or whatever it's called, you're chewing it. It's really good. I even had another one later on this afternoon. So anyway, just a tip
Wow.
because it is rather large.
Okay.
that-
Okay. I
yeah.
need to try it because
It's amazing.
I would never.
Do one now,
I would never
Crystal.
tried it.
Do one now and show everyone how good it tastes.
I don't have them nearby. They're in my kitchen.
Okay. Well, okay. Well,
Okay, I
anyway.
will try it though. I did that accidentally once and I almost threw up. I was driving and I went to take a whole handful of pills and then I didn't get them all swallowed and something in my brain just on autopilot bit down instead of swallowing
Uh-huh.
what was left and it was the
Yep.
omega. It was so disgusting.
This is
I was
not-
driving down the road thinking I'm gonna throw up. Where's I can't find any napkins. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
For the record, I'm not the one that called it a horse pill. And
Oh, who
I
did?
was just surprised that no one had yet said anything about the
Oh,
size
okay.
of them.
Hmm.
Being that they are soft gels, they are easy to swallow. I
Yeah.
swallowed 2 at once, and then I trusted Laura and I chewed 1 as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All right.
I will never let you down.
Yeah, no, it was fine. And actually, I didn't really taste the wild orange in the fluid. I tasted it more in the gel part. And you like when you chewed on it, it was like almost like you were chewing on a rind, you know?
Like a
Mhm.
gummy.
Kind of weird.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Almost like a gummy. I just did it because I had to do it. And she's right. It tastes the shell tastes like orange,
Mhm.
almost like a gummy, and it doesn't really taste highly fishy at all.
Okay.
I'm surprised. I'll do it again.
Okay.
Thanks. I
Well,
wrote it down for my team. Thank you.
Awesome. That's a great tip. So along with, cardiovascular, cholesterol health, heart health, all the brain health, all the things we learned, you can chew them. So that's great too for maybe, picky kids or kids who can't swallow. And there's adults too. I know I run into now and then who cannot swallow pills and have asked many times, don't you have a liquid or powder vitamin? Because I would love to take your vitamins. So Tanya's got one. She's going to do it.
Did I do it?
Do it.
I'm a little scared. It looks like it's filled with liquid, but it's chewy.
You
It's
will
like-
love it.
Yeah, after you bite into it, it's fine.
right.
Good.
All right, here we go. Roll,
Yeah.
Drum roll.
roll the video. But
And
this
yeah,
might be a
yeah.
funny outtake if I like vomit or something.
Go, go, go.
Do it.
Now, if it
Tanya,
has even the
Tanya,
slightest bit
Tanya.
of fishy taste, my husband would totally know and he would
Oh,
hate
it is liquid on the inside. I see. So
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Whole thing in
Just
your mouth
orange,
and
though.
chew it, Tanya. Come
Just put
on.
the whole
Put it
thing.
in your mouth. Just do
just
it.
tastes
There
like
you
Do
go.
it, Tanya, do it.
You don't
that
taste.
is so
all?
interesting. Okay, I was
Yeah.
picturing it chewy like a fruit snack all the way through.
Yeah, like a gummy.
It's not. It's still oil on the inside, but it just tastes like it's
Orange.
orange,
know.
but it's very mild. It's
Yes.
just like flavorless oil with a hint of orange, and then the outer gel cap is chewy. It's like really thick.
Woo-hoo.
Not fishy at
Okay.
all. Tanya.
Nope.
We're trying.
It's not fishy at all.
That is so crazy. Okay.
I'm shocked.
Well, I mean the IQ Mega really wasn't fishy much at all either, just a little bit. But Lacey says this is good news because the kids' fish oil is going away. I hadn't heard that.
So I talked to Lauren Bush at convention about that exact thing, about the IQ Mega going away because it's been gone for a little bit.
Mhm.
And she said there's not a plan to bring it back because these are so great that the kids can pop them in. She's been giving them to her kids to chew.
Okay.
And
Okay,
she
I will
said they're
say-
also easy to cut open and just pull
Yeah.
the liquid out if
For
they can't
little
chew
little
it.
ones, I would cut it open because, sorry, this is probably TMI and gross. It's kind of big, like it's like a
Right.
big.
So
piece of
she
cut.
said that she
For a
did it
little one,
both
they
ways.
could kind of aspirate that, but you
Oh.
could, when I bit it, it just burst open. So you could easily snip the tip and squeeze it out on a spoon or something for a little one, but any kid that could eat, if they're old enough to,
Two French fries.
chew
Is there
gum
any
or eat a
reason
fruit
that
snack,
you,
they could
like,
eat it.
Do you need to chew and swallow the capsule? There's nothing.
I threw it
beneficial in that.
away.
Yeah, you
right?
could spit it out.
I do that
drained
with
it, spit it out.
I do that with beadlets. I like, suck the good out of it and spit the
You do?
I do because, well, it used to be carrageenan and it's not anymore, but I will swallow them now sometimes, but I used to just like spit them out all the time. So, okay, well, that's good to know. So the kids, you could just give them the liquid out of it too. I wonder if you could like poke a hole and squeeze it out. I don't know. We'll have to
I
try
think
it.
you could. It's kind of thick,
Yeah.
but I think you could.
You could just nip it on the end.
Mhm.
I want to bring up one thing before you
Yeah.
move on because you know, a lot of you know about my mom and what I'm going through with my mom and trying to get her back on her supplements. So I'm really excited that I'm going to be able to take this, the VMG, to them to give to her because, you know, we know a lot of elderly people can't swallow the amount of lifelong vitality as, you know, being able to drink it. So I just want to encourage everybody to start reaching out to like 55 and over places, because I think, you know, these people would be able to take that a lot easier, especially if they're already on pharmaceuticals. Then you're not adding, you know, more pills to their box.
Okay.
And you know, we could really look at how, well, you know how I am. I always am looking to back people off of their medications along with their doctor's help. And if their doctors aren't open to it, then I tell them to find a new doctor. But you know, it's really about giving them that support with what we have so that they're not on all those medications and causing all of those side effects. So I just wanted to mention that.
Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, that's really important. Okay, so we may come back and share some more testimonials or things that we're excited about, but for those who maybe were or weren't there, it doesn't matter, just wanted to share some things that are important for all of us as business builders to know. So the new products are coming out October 1st, and you'll want to look into the bundles. They will have a limit of 2. So there are some different bundles they put together for us with the VMG and the E-Omega, or the V-Omega, the vegan version, the foundational wellness bundle, and then the vegan bundles. So those are exciting things coming out. Like I said, the DMK has all this great literature. I just took a quick screenshot that's updated for us, the Live Guide, Living Guide, the new catalog, a great ebook on explaining the supplements, all there and ready for us all. It's just great to have it so quickly. So this is just an example. This is the new cleanse, the 30-day cleanse, which we know we have the 90-day one, which we talked about with Dr. Watts a couple Monday meetups ago with Tanya having him on. And so we have that version as well, but this is great to share with the new products already uploaded, updated on there. These also, the Natural Solutions, this new handout for classes, I thought it was really well done. And I was impressed with a lot of what they've already put out for us. So again, some of you have your own handouts you like for classes, but I always say don't reinvent the wheel unless there's, you know, a specialty topic you're needing to cover yourself with. So that's 4 pages. This is the last 2 pages. So you can see how nicely it's laid out and that new products are built in. Also, the foundational wellness PowerPoint, I'm going to share that separately just really quickly so you can see how well done it has been. Because that one, I was surprised. This is like Tanya quality kind of from our wellness workshops, the PowerPoint itself, and it's turnkey, ready for you to go and use if you want to. So let me share that one really quick. I'm just going to scroll through.
I think we'll be adding those slides and
Yeah,
revamping
some of
them
these
on the
slides will be
website
added to our wellness workshop
people
also,
if
but
they're
I'm just
wondering.
going to scroll through and show you because it's all about foundational wellness, which they prepped us with, the calls that they had before convention, and we're hearing that term all the time. I'm getting back to that and revamping it. And you can just see some of the facts, the stats that are in here, how clearly laid out it is, how easy it is to read. The graphics are great. Like all of this makes me happy. I didn't read every word, but I haven't seen typos from what I've scrolled through and looked at. The fonts match, like these kind of things matter if you have that sort of bent. But just looking at how well they cover everything, but it's simple. It's not overwhelming. It's not too busy. They've come a long way in some of these types of things. So this is ready for you to share. If you wanted to teach a class on foundational wellness, and there's lots of great talking points. There's things that if you really love the science, you can get down into the weeds pretty deeply here with some of this. If you don't, you're like, I don't even know how to pronounce that word. That's okay too. You can just show it and give a flyover of what makes VMG so unique and so great, the ingredients, that type of thing. You don't want to go through typically every ingredient anyway. That's too overwhelming, too much information. Like Lori said, 1% of the population wants that. But I just wanted you to kind of get a visual of that. And then I'm going to go back to the other one just to see that doTERRA really is supporting us so well with these materials ready to go. So I'm excited about that. Some of the announcements that we all need to kind of be aware of. Let me get back to this. All right. And my computer's being slow to catch up with me. It's like you're asking a lot here, lady. All right. So this.
That's a lot of open tabs.
I know, you sound like my husband. I've been opening all kinds of DMKs just trying to get it going. And my poor computer, I can't blame it. It's my fault. It's user issues. All those open tabs. All right. So one of our favorite parts was the Catch the Wave team party. And all these fun graphics Tanya added in didn't work. So I'm using them here. But we had an awesome time. And I've heard from some it was their favorite team party, which honestly, Tanya and I were kind of surprised about. We were going for a great team party. And this was most of our group. Some people did have to leave a little bit early, but we had the beach theme and some really fun announcements, the awesome corporate visits, most of which were unexpected or that we at least were unsure of. We had no idea who from corporate would be coming as far as them sending Nicole Stevens. That was really exciting for all of us. We felt bad for her because she's so tall. She had to bend way over to speak into that microphone. But it was fantastic just having so much energy and all of you there who were able to be there. Tanya announced the Wave of Wellness Team Challenge. There are posts in the Freedom Tree about this. I'll be catching up and putting posts in my group too, but you should all be in Tanya's group. This is a great challenge for the last quarter of the year. So everybody needs to get familiar with this. It is all about a different way of thinking through an enrollment challenge. So enrolling coast to coast, getting all 50 states is the goal, to keep going until you get one person enrolled or reactivated in all 50 states. But there's these different levels. The Grand Champion, if you get 25 states, does have to be 50 PV or more. Look at all these fantastic prizes that Tanya's throwing in, these incentives. First place, 15 states, second place, 5 states. And for that, you will get potentially strategy sessions, all these things. You can read about it. And also there's the Rising Tides virtual retreat on Saturday, February 8th. So you're going to want to be a part of that. And that's just for getting people in 5 different states. Everybody can attend that. So we're excited to roll that out. Do you want to say anything else about it specifically, Tanya?
I put a link in the chat. Go grab that. You can also go to the Freedom Tree and find the post about it, but really it's going to direct you to this Google folder. And in there are the 3 pages of handouts you got at the team party, or if you weren't there, you can download them. Make sure you get these to your downline that might want to be interested. It will show you, there's a tracker page you use to keep track of your enrollments or reactivations in other states, because you're going to have to turn that data into me to collect your prizes later. I'll tell you how to do that later on. And then there is a states that you can check off. So you can have a goal page and kind of check off the states. Remember, if you get one that's in another country, we'll just count it as a state. We'll count it in your total. I don't want that to detour anyone. And then, or detour, still going over my words here. You have to start fresh. You can't count any enrollments or customers or downline that you already have. Everyone's starting fresh. This is going to start October 1st. So the enrollment or reactivation dates have to be October 1st, and they need to be they have not ordered for 12 months prior to enrolling in order for it to count as a reactivation. Okay. So more info is going to come on the Spoil You box and the retreat, but please mark it out in your calendar. It'll be like an all-day retreat on that Saturday, and we want people to earn a spot there. And then that grand prize, if you get that Grand Champion level, I'm going to pay for your convention ticket next year, like myself. So it's a good goal to shoot for. But go in that Google folder because you'll get those handouts. But also, the most important thing is there are videos in there. These videos were made by another team who ran this challenge, who created this challenge, and I talked to their leader, and it's where I got the idea. We've tweaked it a little bit for ours, so don't listen to their rules and their dates and all of that. Look at the rules that are spelled out for ours. But what those videos are, instead of making our own videos, I just use those because they've got a few leaders on there that share methods and strategies for how do I find people in other states. Oh my goodness, you guys, it's a treasure trove of ideas. So if you're like, I need some fresh new ideas for how to like meet people and find people and enroll people and do this, do not like think, I don't know anybody in Georgia. I don't know anybody in North Dakota. Don't, everybody's in the same boat. Don't think that. You go watch those videos. There's 2 of them. You will have a list of ideas and then you just pick like from a menu what you're going to try. So go do that between now and October 1st so you can get a game plan. But get that link.
Yes. So the QR code's there, but yeah, it's posted. Go find out all about that. Get excited about it and use your refer a friend link. Use the strategies we've talked about here. Use the strategies on the videos. There's a lot of great ideas there. So that was the first big announcement. The second big surprise announcement was the team cruise. So who's excited about that? We've already got a lot of registrations and people jumping on board. And we were like, we don't know if anybody else would want to do this, but we're very excited that so many people seem to be on board with it. And so it'll be leaving out of LA. And if I can get to the next slide, there we go. It's the Ensenada, Mexico.
I put the wrong date on there. It's through the 6th. I'm so sorry.
Oh, okay. June through the 6th. All right. And so it's 3 nights, Ovation of the Sun, Royal Caribbean, Oceanside rooms, double occupancy. So that's a king bed with a sofa. That's for.
You can get split beds, I found out too. So you don't have to share a bed. Yeah, you can decide.
Okay. So training, activities, relaxation, friends. It's going to be fun, business expense too. And she put a couple of different things in the Freedom Tree just so you would know. The $422 per person plus gratuities. That's if you're sharing a room with another teammate. And then if you wanted to take your family, you can. So for a room for 4 people, it would be $1,665. And I'm not sure if that's a typo, the plus 54 person gratuity.
That's the gratuity. We have a mandatory gratuity, the ship. I think. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that other one also 54 per person?
I think so.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's just
It wasn't on the other one.
Per person. And that you either pay, you can pay that ahead of time or you can pay it the day you leave the ship, but they will make you pay it before you get off the boat.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So go look into more about that.
I put the registration in the chat. That is the official registration link. So there's been some confusion because at the party we had like an I'm interested link. That link has been closed. We're no longer collecting I'm interested. We have official open registration. The rooms I blocked, I mean, we just announced this today that it's already half full. I'm working on seeing if we can get some more rooms unblocked, but it's moving fast. People are booking it fast. So if you want to come, don't wait. That's my advice. And if you need a roommate, but you don't have one, don't let that stop you. Book it. If you find someone, we'll get you paired up with your person as long as they get in. If you don't, we'll pair you up with someone same gender. So just don't wait. If you're still working on a roommate, get your name in there so you can at least score your spot.
Okay. And the deposit, remind everybody, is how much?
Well, it comes in a couple phases. So the first thing you're going to have to pay is $25 to the travel agent because that basically connects her to you as the travel agent.
And that's per person. Okay.
That's per person. And then, although I believe, don't quote me on this, if you're a family of 4, it might be 75 for the whole family.
Okay.
I think. But once she has that, she now has the ability to go ahead and invoice you for your deposit. And then start working on getting you booked with the cruise line. And then your deposit is $100. Okay, so you'll pay
by October 13th, right?
As soon as you put that form in, she'll email you with an invoice for $25. You pay that, and she's collecting those, and then she's going in batches and sending out invoices once she puts you in to the cruise for $100, and then you're paying that, and it'll go to the cruise, the $100 to the cruise. That's your deposit. $50 of that is non-refundable and the $25 to her is non-refundable. You don't have to pay the rest of it until March 5th. What does it say on there? March 5th is the rest of it. And the gratuity, you don't even have to pay till the day you get off the ship.
Okay.
If you add that fee in for the travel agent and you add the gratuity in and the taxes and everything, it was on the other side. I think it comes out to like $525 or something like that. Okay. That's all your food and everything. And your activities.
Awesome.
And we will try to we're going to try to get a conference room so we can do a business training while we're there. And then the rest of the time is going to be having just a lot of fun.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Comment in the chat if you're excited about this. I'm going to try to make it. So
there's a question, $54 per day. Oh, that's for the whole trip. So you don't ever have to tip at any of your meals or anything. That covers housekeeping and every meal. $54 for the whole thing is your gratuity.
That's great. Okay. I saw in the DMK some fun statistics. Now, I know there are people who could only do virtual. I totally understand that, and I'm so glad you joined anyway. But these were just some interesting stats they shared that 6 months after a convention, in-person attendees see at least 2 times the average enrollments compared to virtual attendees. Again, that doesn't mean you won't see that increase if you attended virtually. It's all about the work we put in. Going to convention is not just a magic bullet. But I still thought that they put together some interesting stats. And you could say, well, is that, correlation, not causation? Well, let's continue. In-person wholesale customer attendees are 4 times more likely to upgrade to wellness advocates. Some ranks achieved up to 6 times more enrollments. So depending on ranks after attending convention. In-person attendees see 5 times more monthly downline orders than virtual attendees and 10 times more than those who don't attend at all. So of course, still attending virtually is fantastic. They also experience average monthly downline enrollments 11 times higher than virtual attendees and 56 times higher than those who didn't attend. 72.5% of leaders who advanced in rank 6 months after convention attended in person. So that's a high percentage. And in-person attendees see 5 times more monthly downline orders. Oh, that was one that was already shared, sorry. So those were just some interesting stats. And then a couple of my favorite presentations, I really thought it was important, some of the announcements at the end. I also highly recommend, of course, watch all of them if you can, but we have time. If you went in person or virtual, you have, I don't remember the deadline. They have extended that for us in the past, so it could get extended. But you have time to go watch. Drew Wolfert's presentation was really great in terms of just giving us a lot of stats about Gen Z being totally ready to embrace new business opportunities, new ways of making money. Why doTERRA? Why now? And not just saying that like we hear all the time, well, it's always the best time to start doTERRA. It was concrete evidence of the things that are happening industry-wide, market-wide, what people are saying about doTERRA, lots of surveys that they've done, and they've been collecting all this data. So I encourage you to watch that one, take some notes. It will get you excited to share with people because people really are ready for the information, for improving their health, for doing things that are anti-aging specifically. The market is really ripe for that and looking for that and willing to spend money on that. So don't tell yourself any stories about what people will or won't invest into. Go see the stats for yourself. It's very inspiring. So I want you to make sure to watch that one soon. And then the one that had a lot of the announcements at the end was Shannon Bible and Simone. I always forget how to say his last name. And I was going to share just the PowerPoint. So all these PowerPoints are also available. So you can go in and see all of these. I'll just skim through them. Make sure you know about the fall tours. There are the options for leader-led fall tours. Look into that if you don't know about that. The ones that they are doing are on these dates at these different places around the country. They're being strategic with different areas. If there's one close to you, they will likely be looking for volunteers, so you can reach out about that. If you are not silver or above, you can reach out to your business, regional business advancement. It's not business advancement. What do they call? I always forget. It was what Ruby said her title was. Anyway, the regional business person in your area, or you can ask your Upline Silver to reach out and see. But even if not, just get a ticket and go. They're going to be great. They will have some, they will not have post-convention kits, but they will have some bundles and discounts and enrollment specials. So you'll want to get to those. And convention early bird tickets. And that, let's see. Oh, that is, what is the early bird? Oh, it's available through the 29th. That's what I had to move the little picture box to see the date. So that's available through the 29th, the early bird ticket price $139. So share that with everybody who's already signed up to go next year in person or bought your ticket. Yeah, a lot of us. Good, exciting to plan ahead. The Wellness Advocate Starter Pack, that's going to be available upon enrollment as a wellness advocate, and it's $49.99. From what it sounded like, it's taking the place, right, of the class in a box, but there's a lot of great material in that, so that was new. And this is what all is in it. I know you can watch this and some of you already did, but for those who weren't there, it's good to remind ourselves too. There were a lot of questions about some of these things, like the email series. Someone mentioned that earlier in the call. You'll get one email for 12 days with links to various resources for new wellness advocates to help them get started. So they're really getting smart and strategic about some things like the training courses. Also, the Launch Your Business training course to learn how to start their business. That's available October 1st in the US and Canada. And then coming next year, we have the O Rewards, and they will get a gift on their first doTERRA Rewards order. And the VIP O Rewards, we were all really excited to see them doing this a little bit differently. So at 13 qualified months, basically on what was called LRP, I know it's going to take some getting used to. We'll probably still always call it that, right? They'll get these extra benefits. So the gift, then of course the 30% on each subscription order, exclusive VIP offers. So that sounds exciting. VIP benefits, including early access to some products. So all of those are really exciting benefits for those who get to that 13-month mark. People can start their subscription order, which we do want to adopt that language when talking to customers, because that's what they're used to hearing, right? So the subscription order is available on their very first order. That's currently now available. They can we can place an instant rewards order. I wasn't totally clear on the details of that. That's going to be available end of this month. Somebody else might want to speak into that. I was furiously trying to keep up, but I also had to leave on Saturday before it was over, and I was listening to some of the last bits on the way to the airport. Subscription management tool available in January. So we'll get more details about all of this stuff. But they're listening. You can tell from all the changes they're making, they're really listening to our feedback. These are things that a lot of people have been asking for. Rally for Rewards incentive coming next month. Not a lot of details on that yet, but that'll be coming. So any thoughts, questions about any of the new announcements that were made?
Crystal, I thought I heard someone say, and because you are all LRP, you're already VIP. I thought I heard him say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did anyone hear that?
Yes, I
He
did.
said it.
He did.
Yes.
He said it. I was on virtual and I was listening, but one
Okay.
question that I did have that I could have missed it, but is it still working like when they start their subscription, it's 10% to 15%, it still goes up like that to the same way?
They didn't say.
They didn't
They
say.
didn't.
It wasn't clear, but it does say, starting at 13 months. So that's, we have some questions, and unfortunately I didn't have time today to try to get clarification on that. So if anybody knows, speak up. If not, we'll get the details soon. We'll get all that ironed out.
And Crystal, there was a reference to improvements in the compensation plan coming next year, but nothing specific, but it's out there.
Yes, there's a committee working on that, a committee of wellness advocates working with doTERRA on that. And so Tanya knows more, but she's not at liberty to say, I don't believe. So
The
we'll
reason they didn't
hearing that.
announce it is because they have to go through some FTC approvals. So it's stuck in red tape right now, but it's coming and it's good. I don't know all the details, but I know a few, and you guys are gonna love it. It's
I can't
Yeah.
wait.
gonna help us make
Yeah.
more money.
Tanya, is it going to have any effects on the affiliate program?
I have not heard anything about the affiliate program, so I could
They
not
didn't give
answer
us
that.
any updates on the affiliate program.
I don't think it has anything to do with the affiliate program.
It
though.
doesn't. That's still
From what I've
separate.
heard, unless there's other things that I don't know about.
Yeah, that's still in that next pilot phase, and we haven't heard
Yeah.
anything more about it being rolled out to another.
It's people are asking in the chat affiliate. That's just it's a beta, something they're testing out on the site, but it's not something that we can all do. There's just some people participating. It's an experiment. Hasn't really taken off that far, so I don't know if it'll.
No, it will never replace wellness advocates. They were very clear
No, never,
a couple of
never.
times, and in the booklet that they gave us, that they will never go away from network marketing, direct sales, and that they will not replace that with affiliates. They were testing out what it would be like to allow people to sign up as affiliates, people who are like online influencers. And so they've had some very limited.
Like under you as a wellness advocate to
Yeah.
help you, but it hasn't really taken. So I don't
really
I don't-
taken off
It
the
hasn't
numbers.
taken off well at all.
No, the numbers are really low. Yeah, I've been in the second phase pilot program, and yeah, the numbers have been low. They've kind of really dropped off of even communicating with us. So I'm not sure.
It might be dying. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
It was an idea that sounded great and people were begging to try it out, but if it doesn't do better than it has been, they may not continue it. And they've been clear about that from the beginning. And then those people who did sign up as affiliates would have to decide if they're just going to become wellness advocates or what. So we'll see. We'll see about that, but that's a totally separate thing for sure. And yes, I was very reassured, which I've heard Emily talk about it. We all have, but I loved just how passionate they are about continuing to keep this a network marketing direct sales company, and how they believe in the power of that and what that does as far as us being the sales force, the people who really use, love, and believe in the products being the voice of the company, and that they have seen other companies moving away from that, companies in financial trouble or companies that don't want to have to pay out those commissions, just going to a different model. It's happened multiple times this year, and I know that has made people nervous. So it was very affirming to hear just how much they believe in this model and how they will never go away from it.
And did you notice they put it in writing?
Yes,
Right on that.
I showed Tanya that when I opened up the book. I was like, look at this,
And
it's
in the
right
book.
here.
It is in writing.
In
It is
writing.
So doTERRA is a great place for those poor distributors from other companies who have.
That's right. Yeah,
been
if you
left
know any
without
of
a
those
company.
people, yeah.
We are a good place for them to come. Let's be the
Soft place
hospital.
to
for them.
land for sure. So, yep, there it is. Joanna's showing it right on the front page of the convention program. Awesome. Well, we
Does that
are
mean
at
we're
the top of
gonna
the
be
hour
mother
again.
tree, Crystal? Does
Sorry?
that mean we're going to be the mother tree, like Emily was saying?
Oh yeah, the mother tree. That's what we are. Yep. So branch out. It's time. You don't want to miss out. So branch out. Well, this was great. Thank you for those who shared and for the comments in the chat too. I couldn't keep up with. I know a lot of people were replying. We'll get some clarification on some of these things. It's all so brand new, but it was an awesome convention, and overwhelmingly I heard that there is this new infusion of hope, that people really felt optimism. And maybe since the first time pre-2020, they felt like this was the best convention we've had in years, if not the best convention ever. And there was just a lot of optimism, hope, and belief. And it did feel like a refreshing, just like, yeah, new start, breath of fresh air. So I'm excited to see what we all do with it. It was so, so good. And yeah, that's a great note to end on. So we will see you back next week. Well, I will not be here. I'll be in Africa, but remind me what we have next week, Tanya.
It's me, and it's to be determined. I'm working on some stuff, but I have not announced the topic yet.
Well, you know it'll be awesome.
Things, yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Crystal.
Safe travels, Crystal.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
See you all soon. Have a great
Bye.
week.
Enjoy.
Bye.